This is the story of Glasha and her sheep. Once upon a time there lived a king named Wamgluk who was quite old but still could smell good. And when he was young, he could seek out pretty much anything with his nose. And he had a son named Namgluk who could fight pretty well, so Wamgluk thought, well, as a wife for my son, I would like someone who can fight good but still can cook good so that we all have good food that won't annoy my nose when it's being cooked. So he set out a notice to the whole kingdom that within a week, every woman in the land, or unmarried maiden in the land, should find and hunt a creature and cook it, and to be decided by the king himself. The winner would then marry Namgluk the week after. So all the ladies in the land went hunting for deer and elk and basilisks, and Glasha, who was very, very tiny, even smaller than a boulder, realized that she could not hunt, she was too small, so she went to the human village where there were sheep, and found a sheep that was not afraid of anything, even when all of its, mostly because it was stupid, even when all of its friends ran away from the dragon that swooped over the village, that sheep just sat chewing grass. So Glasha took that sheep and began carrying it through hills and valleys all the way back home, and at one point she tripped over a tree root and the sheep dropped and fell through blackberry bushes and brambles and rolled and rolled and rolled right until it fell, and through dandelions, and fell right in front of the mouth of the cave that was very, very big, and Glasha knew housed a dragon. And Glasha froze and hid because the dandelion tufts that had clung to the sheep's wool were starting to float into the air and were being blown into the cave by a small gust. And then the dragon sneezed, and the sheep was burnt beyond recognition, but Glasha stood and noticed that the dragon still hadn't woken up, so she picked her way carefully through the boulders around the cave's entrance and picked up the sheep, trussed it to her back, and kept walking. And as she reached the courtyard where the competition was to be held, everyone laughed at her for, what is that thing, that big blackened thing on your back? You surely can't be hoping to present this. But King Wamgluk smelled it from all the way from his throne and said, "What is that aroma? That smells like exactly what I wanted to eat." And the sheep meat had been charred, yes, but on the inside it was still rare, and the blackberries had infused, and the dandelions had added some little bit of grassiness, and the king tasted it and said, "This is exactly what I wanted to eat." And Glasha and Prince Namgluk were married, and presumably, though unstated, lived happily